Good evening, Viking fans. This is your boy Justin in Rochester with Purple and Gold for Days, and it's time for the midweek musings. You know, this Vikings offense, it looks so explosive at times and looks so pedestrian at times. It's like they're missing one key ingredient. Oh, wait, they have that ingredient and sitting on their shelf. Midweek musings as to what the Vikings really need to do with this guy they traded a couple draft picks for right after this. The Minnesota Vikings traded 2 draft picks, a late round pick next year, and a possible 4 or 5 the year after that in 2024 for Jalen Reagor. Now listen, at the time, we were hoping that Adam Thielen would be back to being the 1B to Justin Jefferson, that KJ Osborne would continue his development as the number 3 wide receiver, and that Jalen Reagor would just be the punt return and the occasional 4th wide receiver. Well, here's the deal. We knew that Adam Thielen and KJ's productions probably weren't going to be as much. We hoped that they would remain steady because we knew Justin Jefferson was going to play the Cooper Kupp role and his production was going to go way up. Some actually had the idea that maybe Jefferson, Thielen, and KJ Osborne were going to be 3 deep 2.0. Breaking news, that hasn't quite happened yet. I know it's sacrilege to say anything that's not positive about Adam Thielen. I know. He's a Minnesota guy like us. We all know his story. He'll get his 30 for 30 5-10 years after he retires about how great his story was. But the simple fact is Adam Thielen has 56 catches for 580 yards, having played all 12 games. KJ Osborne, 30 catches, 262 yards. Yeah, not quite living up to that 3D 2.0 designation, but I digress. Listen, I'm not here to suggest that Jalen Reagor should be the number 2 wide receiver behind Justin Jefferson. Although that would be sweet if someday he could. You know, they're about the same age. We're taking in the same draft. We all know that story. Thank you, Philly, for giving us JJ. We appreciate you. Let's take a look at the snaps of the Vikings' last 3 meaningful games. Now, yes, I took Dallas out because, well, that game we can throw that in the trash. This past week, Adam had 59 snaps. KJ had 45. Reagor had 2. Previous week, 64, 36, and 1. Really? Now, yes, week 10 is a little bit high, so I kind of adjusted a little bit here because that was an overtime game. But the point I'm making is this. 103, 101, and roughly 123 targets for the Vikings' 2, 3, and 4 wide receivers. You're telling me that the disparage really needs to be that high? I'm sorry, it doesn't. There's nothing wrong with saying, let's take about 7 to 12 snaps away from KJ, and let's take 5 to 10 away from Adam Thielen. Yeah, he's ready. I don't want to hear anymore about how, well, he's only been here since after training camp was over and he needs to adjust. Listen, did you see him adjust to that deep ball that Kirk Cousins underthrew because he was under pressure? Yeah, he did. Because he had that guy beat for a touchdown, and Kirk saw it from the get-go. And it is unfortunate because the offensive line actually held up well on that play up until the end where Bradbury got beat at the end, and Kirk Cousins couldn't step into that pass. Otherwise, it would have been an absolute bomb of a touchdown. No, ultimately, Jalen Reagor saw that Kirk Cousins wasn't able to step into it. He adjusted extremely well on that underthrown ball, and ultimately, JJ scores the touchdown a couple plays later. All I'm saying is this. What Micah Patriot on the Purple Code have always said is no favoritism to legacy players. Adam Thielen is no longer a 1B. Adam Thielen is a high-end number 3 receiver. I'll give him a low-end number 2 in the red zone, but by and large, he's a high-end number 3. KJ Osborne is a low-end number 3. So the Vikings got a 1, 2 3s, and a 4. It's time to let that 4 show if he can pick up some of that slack. Listen, I'm not saying that Reagor should replace KJ Osborne as the 3rd wide receiver. I'm saying there's enough snaps to go around, whether you take some away from KJ or whether you take some away from Adam Thielen. I don't care. But he needs to see at least 20 snaps a game. Does that mean I think he needs to have 8 to 10 targets? Not necessarily. I'd be content with 4 or 6. But you know what? Get him on the field. Put him in the backfield. I don't know, mimic some of the stuff that San Francisco does with Deebo Samuel. I'm not saying he's going to be as successful, but you can mimic some of that. Get him on some jet sweeps. Get him on some toss plays. Get him on a screen pass. Well, no, let's not do screen passes like I said the other day. We just don't screen passes. But jokes aside, don't tell me that he doesn't know this offense. He's got 8 targets for 6 catches and 87 yards for the entire season. 3 catches and 77 of those yards have come in the last 3 games. Now, I'm not here to overreact to 3 whole catches. All I am saying is we've seen him run routes. We've seen that Kirk Cousins actually trusts to throw him the ball. Listen, Last year, Kirk Cousins would have taken the 12-yard pass to Justin Jefferson, and he wouldn't have just chucked it deep down the field when he had a defender barreling down on him. So for all y'all want to say that Kirk Cousins is the same and he's no different than last year, I'm sorry. He doesn't throw that ball to Jalen Reagor last year. Stop it already. At the end of the day, for me, I'm just saying, let's get Jalen Reagor a few more touches. Reagor, at this particular point in time, has shown us that he's ready to take a little bit away from the KJ Osborne, Adam Thielen. I'm sorry. They've been mediocre. They've been pedestrian. They have not earned the right anymore to say, you don't get to have your snaps reduced. Real quick on the injury report, Caleb Evans, he's out again. Who knows if he'll be back. Ty Chandler and Cam Dantzler were returned off the designation of IR. Coach did not say for certain if Cam Dantzler would play. Hopefully he does. What I talked about last week, where you actually are going to get your second and third cornerbacks back. Look at how much they decided to bring a little bit more pressure in the first half. I don't know, probably because Evans was in there. Look at how it kind of disappeared a little bit in the second half, probably because Evans wasn't in there. Oh, by the way, let's hope that the 5 players named C.J. Ham, Danielle Hunter, Theo Jackson, Patrick Peterson, and Harrison Smith, who all missed practice today due to illness, let's hope that's just, kind of the sniffles and maybe a little bit of just December blues and not something that would definitively keep them out of the game. If we don't have Hunter, Patrick Peterson, and Harrison Smith, it's going to be a long day. For right now, let's spice up the offense and get it to the level that it can be so that we don't always have to rely ourselves being in a close game just once, maybe twice even this season. We'd like to not have a close game. That's all for now. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you think I'm on to something, put that in the comments. You think I'm off something, put that in the comments too. Please share this with your friends. Like, comment, and subscribe. This is your boy, Justin in Rochester, with Purple and Gold for Days. See you on the flip side. Skol Vikes.